Welcome back, recruits. I'm Chris Nance with the Northern California Ghostbusters, and today we are going to be showing you how to install Fruttotech's solderless toggle and LED light replacement for the HasLab 2-in-the-box Ghost Trap. Let's get going. These are a really nice little upgrade, honestly, for the HasLab trap in general. A, it gets you that correct flat toggle, which otherwise you would have to kind of completely take the stock parts out, desolder the stock switch from the board, solder a new one in, and then put it all back together again. And this is just like a plug and play replacement. And I understand the LED, it's a brighter LED as well. So that's also kind of gonna be a nice little bonus. Yeah, we are flying a little blind here, basically, because I have not actually opened one of these up yet, as you can see by the screw covers still being in place. So first thing I'm doing is taking the cartridge out and flipping the whole thing over. In order to get to the board and stuff that we need to get to, this whole bottom plate of the trap needs to be taken off. And we need to do that carefully because the speaker is mounted to the bottom plate. But to do that, I have a bunch of screw plugs here in the way that need to go. First of all, wood screw. I have no idea what size or pitch or whatever this is. I just eyeballed it. But I know it's thicker than the hole that exists there. I'm just taking like a regular Phillips head screwdriver and driving it in as far as it wants to go. And then we're going to take some flat nose pliers here. And just pull. And it takes the plug right with it.
So I'm going to go ahead and skip over all the nonsense we had to do trying to get these plugs out using the drill bit and pliers, because this is the superior method. So do this and it'll save yourself a lot of time and headache.
And cosmetic damage.
And cosmetic damage to your trap. All right, so do it this way.
So once you have your bottom plate disconnected and unscrewed, we're going to be looking at that. So now that we have full access inside of the trap, we have two things in our way. We have these two screws in the corners of the board. And then we've got the spring for the latch mechanism that holds the cartridge in. And that's right here. And then actually three things, because there's also this nut that holds the switch itself in place. First thing we're gonna do is remove that screw. And be mindful because it is under pressure from that spring. I just want the internet to appreciate that I'm doing this left-handed. So, not too bad in terms of tension from the spring. That lets us take this whole piece out. Gives us access to these screws.
I want the internet to appreciate that Chris is doing this with a camera in his face.
Yeah.
2 inches from his face.
The very last bit that needs to come off. I'm just using a 5/16 wrench to take this nut off, or to loosen it rather, because I'm going to take it the rest of the way there. You have two major wires going through this area right behind this board. Blue pair and this like red, black, white pairs. You're just kind of trying to maneuver around those so you can get this out without doing any damage to anything. That's the stock lens. On Greg's, the wiring for this board is wrapped around some wire bundles that we want to leave. Really, all I have to do is get my fingers in like that and unplug it. It is kind of unfortunately this 4-pin, 5-pin, 5-pin in the middle here, this little white one. And you may get unlucky and have wire bundles wrapped around each other. Just kind of do your best like I just did to pull the board out of the way to give yourself access for your fingers to get in there and wiggle it free. The light lens that comes with the Fruttotech kit requires a slightly larger base than what is there. And I don't know exactly what that size is offhand, so just to figure it out, I've gone ahead and basically compared the diameter of the drill bit to the overall size of the threads on this, and I ended up with a 23/64, which is another one of those, like, well, if you don't have a 500-piece drill set, and because we've gone so far up in size.
Oh, dude, that's way. We have to use the big drill?
We have to use the big drill.
Oh, God.
Just the chuck on my little drill is not big enough. I'd say it went through.
Did we do any damage?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Oh, just the tiniest bit though, but it is also like perfectly placed to fuck with the rumble motor. All we really did was uncover the screw for one of the rumble motor's mounts. So switching over to the Dremel because the only other drill that I have available that can take a chuck that large is a big, heavy, like construction drill, and we don't want to do any damage to anything, any real damage to anything in here. So we're gonna go with a Dremel and a sanding burr of some kind. I don't know what you would call this. In any event. Just that little bit might be enough. At this point, all I'm doing is using the threads from the lens itself to drive it through.
Oh yeah, that's in there. You don't even need the washer.
Nope. First of all, just bent the wire bundle around the board. So that's how it needs to end up sitting, because it's going to end up like that. But I'm going to plug this in to the board first, and then I'm going to try to come in under these wire bundles. That's going to be kind of difficult, but I'm going to try to come in under these two wire bundles to seat it where it needs to be, up under the light lens and the switch hole.
Okay, apology for those watching. There's not a lot of room in here, and I'm trying to stay out of Chris's way, so I'm going to get as close as I can, but both of his hands, I think, are going to be blocking the exact movement.
So, board is plugged in. And now...
Yeah, apologies, folks. There's not a lot of room to show you how to do that from this angle. And get as close as I can. You can see Chris moving the wires out of the way and trying to basically rotate it and push it up into the light and the switch through the thing. The switch should go first because it's longer.
Unfortunately, one of the wire bundles in the way is on the light side, so I have to actually come in under that side first. Okay, so switch is in.
Sorry, because I'm right in front of your face.
It's okay, I got it. Kind of have to get your wire bundles out of the way, which I was kind of doing. I was just doing with like a screwdriver in my offhand. And like the big trick is to kind of get it down to this side as close as much as you can to get the switch into its hole. And once you get that in there, it'll all kind of just line up onto the pegs, which aligns you with the screw hole. So now we're going to go ahead and put the two screws back in to secure the board, and then we're going to put the latch mechanism and its spring back in. That. And then nut on. It's got slots on both sides, so I'm just using a flathead on one side to tighten that nut down. I'm sure there's a specialty socket head of some kind for that particular like nut, but I don't have it, or if I do, I don't know where it's at. So that's pretty much it. Replacement switch and LED. We're actually using the lens cover from Fruttotech here, so that required a little bit of extra drilling. But this is pretty much this should be pretty well fully installed We don't know that it's working yet because we haven't plugged it in. So let's put the cartridge back in. So everything's working. We're gonna go ahead and put our screws back. It's a little bit invasive, but it is a nice little, mostly cosmetic upgrade for your trap. I personally really like these flat bar lenses a lot more than the little round bar ones that come with stock on the HasLab. And then the extra bright LED, I don't know how well it translates on camera, but like this is so much brighter than just the stock LED in lens. You know, A, you've got this clear lens, which is much nicer, and B, you've got a much brighter LED that's board mounted under there as well. So that also does like a nice little touch. I think the only way that you could really upgrade further in this regard would be to use like a Linrose light lens. That would be like the screen accurate thing. But just as an option that Frutto includes with their little kit, it's not too bad. And yeah, I did do a little bit of damage to the rumble motor, specifically to the housing on the rumble motor. So the rumble motor still goes, but it's, there we go. You can hear when I do the adjustment knob here, it's not operating at peak efficiency like it is in the stock. That said, Greg hates rumble motors, so it is what it is.
And also, like, it just happens. Like, sometimes you open these things up, everything's so intricately measured out, you damage it, dent it a little bit, you get that. But that's not a terrible thing, honestly. I'm not too beat up about that. But like, it also shows you that even we can make mistakes on stuff.
Yeah.
When we're mounting stuff going in blind, it's just something you learn. So if you're using a big drill bit, just be careful going down. That's basically the lesson.
Yeah. Big shout out to Fruttotech for sponsoring today's video. They went ahead and sent us 2 of everything that you've seen here, so I'm actually going to be installing one into my trap as well at some point. And if you want to get one for yourself, check out the link in the description below. They run for about 18 pounds or about $20 US, probably a little bit more than that. Not that expensive, pretty straightforward, solid little cosmetic upgrade to your HasLab trap. So, and if you have mods or products for the HasLab 2 in the box, feel free to reach out to Greg or I. We would be more than happy to take a look and possibly feature it here on our show as well. And don't forget, if you like this, to smash that bell, hit like and subscribe.
I'm not feeling the energy, Chris.
Oh, God.
Let's start
Kill me.
Take 2.
Smash that bell, hit like and subscribe. Make your mom watch the video. Any engagement helps. Until next time, recruits, I'm Chris Nance with the Northern California Ghostbusters, and we'll see you later.
Well, that wasn't such a chore now, was it?